parents. Happy Teenager Tuesday.
Woo! Teenager Tuesday.
I'm not going to lie. I was really hoping you would sing right there, and you did.
I'm happy I could fulfill that.
That's good. Hey, if we haven't met, my name is Will Perry. I'm the lead student pastor here at Hope. And as always, the wise Elijah Keck is with us.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah. I'm excited to see where this goes and learn. I'm a new parent, so I'm ready to learn from you and from myself a little bit.
It's good. It's fun being parents of little kids while also having like a decade plus of working with parents who have older kids.
That's true.
One of the things that we got from parents that was sent in asking us to go over is letting go. We're creeping up on senior graduations, and this is the time of the year where people are like, I hope I did this well. And we're current parents who don't have seniors look at graduation and maybe evaluate, how can I do that best? How can I set them up to let them go well? Because they're going to leave, and maybe they move back for a couple years after college or during the summers or something, but we're really like launching them out at that point. I read a book, a volunteer in McKinney, actually, who volunteers underneath Elijah. She suggested this book to me, which was phenomenal, called Feeding the Hand That Bites You. I would put that towards my top list of recommended parenting books, Feeding the Hand That Bites You. And I would say it's good at any age. Yeah. And so coming from this idea of, for parents wondering, how can I let go well? How can I launch them off well? I think this book does such a good job. I don't think we need to do too much outside of regurgitating this book in its bullet points, and then suggesting to everyone, get the book, buy the book, Feeding the Hand That Bites You. It is a phenomenal book. And I love one of the ways that it starts out is it really hammers this idea home of, as parents, understanding that there's this core need for autonomy. That teenagers, oftentimes, like it even says in the book, you have this conflict, you have this frustration that starts to brew in later elementary, really comes to a head in middle school sometimes with families on teenagers wanting autonomy. However, they're not ready for it.
Right.
So then it's this, we first need to understand they want it, and there needs to be a path to it. Like, I want it. One of the things that says in the books is, your teen isn't rebelling to hurt you. They're pushing for control over their own life. This is normal and healthy. Like, they may not express it well, but the desire to have control of their life is a good thing. And we need to start with that. Like, it is good for my teenager to begin to own their life. I just need to help coach them along the way.
Yeah, and I think a part of that maybe what isn't stated is you as a parent should want that for them too. I know that sometimes as parents, you want the control, you want to keep that control, and that's honestly a very unhealthy place to be. The Bible talks about people leaving their families and joining with somebody else. It's a healthy thing to do that. So as parents, prepare yourself for that and want that for them. Want them to have autonomy. That'll help you in those goals that you're trying to set for them.
Which is gut-wrenching, though.
It is.
Because that's, to parents out there listening, that's your little boy, that's your little girl,
Yeah.
So it's not an easy thing, but I think it'll make the road a lot rockier if we don't embrace autonomy first.
Yeah, and I think something that will help you with that is shifting your role. So your role as a parent from a director to a coach. Directors are micromanaging. They're making sure all the things are in place. And instead of coaches are preparing people to go and face the thing.
Yeah.
So practice is all about setting them up to win at the end result, win at the game. Yours is your end game is them being autonomous when they're become adults and they have to be. How are they going to win? Are we setting them up and training them to be that person? Or are they relying too much on us?
Yeah, I love this quote in the book. It says, think of yourself as a coach, not as a boss. Like we are their coach. It's like a basketball game. The coach can do what he can,
right.
Or she can, whatever. But it's up to the player to actually take the shot.
Yeah.
And that's why you do so much in practice to help them learn to take the shot. So then, like if parents view, okay, I'm not a director of a commercial where everything needs to hit the spot and everything. I'm a coach.
Right.
We need to put in a lot of practice. I think an example in the book it even gives is like you got to practice. Start by like doing laundry. Like they do their own laundry. You have this list of like, hey, I used to do this for you, but it's yours now, and this is why. You know? Yeah. The next thing, I love this vernacular, is introduce planned emancipation.
Whoa.
Introduce. I love the idea of planned emancipation. It's
scary.
Planning freedom. Plan a roadmap to freedom. Gradually hand over specific areas, clothes, even the music they listen to, the friends that they make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't force friendship. Sometimes I wish we could. We can't force friendship, and a lot of times we can't eliminate bad friends. But even homework. Are we always a safety net? The book talks a lot about that. Of like, sometimes you have to let the homework fall and them get the F. And yes, that's bad for their future, but they need to feel that. Is there a plan that is helping them work towards freedom, emancipation of them owning their life, or are we even like doing all of it for them so that they don't have to, so they can do more of they got to focus more on sports, so I'll do everything else for them. Like, is there even, I'm not saying we can't do anything, but there has to be some kind of plan.
I like this quote. It says, picture your teen's life as a country with states. You start by occupying all of them, but each year you give up control of a few, like their room or curfew, while keeping clear boundaries, though.
Yeah.
So you still are helping manage things, and obviously students and your kids can't manage all those things right now, but what could they manage? What could they do? Start writing those things out and being clear about it too. Communicate that.
Yeah.
Next up, we got set clear expectations and consequences. So setting up the expectations, I think is huge just in general. I've been talking a lot with parents about this, that I think life should be way more about the expectations we have than necessarily the consequences or necessarily like the why nots. Don't do that. Like the rules, like what is the expectations you have as a parent and what are the non-negotiables? So responsibility is huge. Are we growing responsible adults? Because I have a 14-year-old. Well, they will be an adult in 4 years. So are they going to be responsible enough to handle adult decisions and just make the right calls? Otherwise, I heard this quote that we should be working on we should be parenting ourselves out of a job. And I love that, and I think it goes hand in hand here. Like, you should be raising up your student to make those calls. Otherwise, you're going to be doing those things for them when they're in their 30s, and you might resent that, and they might resent that. And so, are we training them up to be responsible, to have respect, to do basic things that they have to get done as adults, and teaching them the consequences and letting you don't have to slap the consequences on them, but letting them live in the consequences that they've and the decisions that they made.
Make the bed and let them lie. Yeah. One of the times in the book, I think they were using this example of laundry or food in their room, and like, it's gross, and there's ants. And I think in the book they said, well, if ants go in the room because of their food, because it's messy and it's smelly or whatever, then they get charged for it being gross. They have to pay for the exterminator.
Yeah.
They have to whatever. They have to pay for the cleaning supplies. They say in the book, let life be the teacher, not always you.
That's so good.
Not always you. Let them feel life's consequences. We don't always have to
bail them out.
Right, bail them out or like put their nose in it or something. They'll feel it.
Yeah.
They'll feel it. Parents, this is good. I want to save the next few. I think we have 4 or 5 left from the book, but I want to save those for next week for part 2 of this idea of letting go well. So for now, parents, remember, you can do this. You're not alone. God is with you, and so are we.